Come on. Lola. Yeah. Come on. Come on, can you come? Come on. They don't mind being milked, like, you know, they pretty much go in of their own accord, really, don't they? It's not like we're feeding them anything in there to, you know, to entice them in except for a bit of salt, so. All right. Come on. Come on. Come on, Bargy. Get up.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here with Matthew Gunningham from Shakespeare Hills, and I've just seen, first time ever, his mobile dairy. The cows are eating 100%, they're 100% grass fed. It's absolutely awesome. Matthew, can you tell me, how, just like, did you make this from scraps? How did this idea come about into your head to make a mobile dairy?
Yes, okay, so I was aware of milking bales from long back. It was something that was developed in the United Kingdom 100 years ago. In 1921, a man called Arthur Hosier built one. He was a farmer and he had an engineering business, and he wanted to utilise places on his farm that weren't really accessible, and so he came up with the idea of milking the cows out in the paddock. And my father can remember people milking in milking bales for many, many years. He said it was transformative because people used to milk by hand, and if they could buy a hosier milking bale, because he started manufacturing them hosier, they could actually, he said it would transform their whole working lives, because then they had a milking machine to milk through. Often they were smaller than this. This is an 8-bale one. Then on a trip to Chilli, about 8 years ago, I saw 3 operating on a dairy farm there. And I was just really taken with the idea of it. And I took lots and lots of photographs. We're here on our farm at Irishtown today, and this is a former dairy farm. 8-10 years ago, they were milking cows here. The farm changed hands. The old dairy was bulldozed and buried. So it wasn't an option for us to start milking in a conventional way here again. And so we had the idea that we could perhaps build a milking bale. And as you say, yes, it's been built from second-hand milking machines that we collected up from around the district. There's lots of small abandoned dairies where the farmer may well have built a new facility, modernised, and almost turned the lights off after the last milking and left, and all the equipment's still there. So for $500 we actually bought an entire dairy, and my 2 sons and I went and we dismantled it one Saturday morning and brought it all home in a trailer. And then we had some pivot pipes that we used for the roof of a pivot that had fallen over, and a very talented young man locally built the structure of the thing, and then our local dairy techs actually fitted all the milking machine. And honestly, I had to get the measurements from a man in New Zealand who still milks through a walk-through dairy now, because there aren't walk-through dairies really in operation much in Australia anymore. So he sent me all of the measurements from his walk-through, and we came up with the design. And honestly, it really has worked beautifully from day one. I don't know there's much we would have changed, honestly.
The cows are looking super happy. They are calm as anything. You don't use any grain to lure them in. What do you use? You said salt.
Yeah, we just put a bit of salt in their troughs so they can have something to lick while they're being milked. But that's all. Yeah, no, we've never fed any, we don't feed any grain at all. So we're 100% grass fed. So that means their entire diet is grass. They might get a little bit of hay, you know, but that's all. They're eating what they evolved to eat, I suppose you could say.
Is there any troubles that you came about with this milking setup? Anything at all?
So the cows themselves, we milk cows elsewhere, and the cows were all cows that had come out of our main dairy herd that weren't in calf. So we're spring calving in our main dairy herd, and these are cows that ordinarily would be sold because they weren't in calf, so they didn't fit our calving pattern. And we just thought, well, if we had a milking bale here, those cows could move and continue milking, and we could mate them in July and August and calve them in the autumn here. So these cows have been mated in July and August. The vast majority of them are pregnant, and so they're getting a second chance, and so they will calve in April and May next year. So these cows have been in milk about 1.5 years. But what I was going to say was, so they came out of a herringbone and a rotary system, had never been milked in anything like this before, and the first 2 or 3 days was quite challenging. It's a new setup for them, so you know, we had to be just very, very patient. We had some quite long milkings, the first 2 or 3 milkings, but just being calm and quiet with them, and you know, they could then get the hang of what they were doing. And you know, and now we've been milking in this 4 months, and they're just as quiet and calm as anything, because they're in very, very close proximity to the people milking them. So it means that they are very, very quiet, because you know, you're sort of interacting on a very personal level with them, because they're walking past you. You can see that each time an empty bale opens up, a cow finds her way into it.
Yeah.
And she just walks past you with no, you know. So they do get a lot of human contact, and I think that's what makes them really calm. But I've always said that your cows are absolutely a reflection of you. If you're calm and kind and, you know, to them, that's exactly how they reflect that back.
Exactly. So. Your milk must be absolutely delicious. Do you sell it in shops, any places?
Yeah, so we're just on the cusp of selling it in bottles. So 100% grass-fed milk. We're in conversion to organic here. So the milk it's fabulous. It's so creamy. We low temperature pasteurize it the old-fashioned way using a batch pasteurizer, and it's not homogenized, so you get a lovely cream line on top. But yeah, it's really fabulous. Yeah, so that's in shops any day.
Okay, cool. Well, we can wrap up here. Thank you very much, Matthew, and it's been really inspirational to see this whole operation. We need more setups like this around Australia. This would make a big difference for small dairies.
Yeah, I genuinely think so. I genuinely think that something like this is absolutely a first step on the ladder to dairying for a lot of younger people. You know, if you've got something where you can bring it onto the farm and bring your herd of cows on the farm, you know, even if you don't own the land, maybe you can find an opportunity to lease and manage some land somewhere. And you know, a mobile setup has an awful lot of advantages as well, in terms of there are no yards to wash, no effluent, no, there's no. Yeah. It's a much lower level type of a system that just works very much with nature, and we run around this farm like a clock face. We just go round in a rotation. All the cow dung stays in the paddock, you know. So it's just a really, it's very much working with nature. I feel, you know, it's a lovely way to milk cows, and I think within reach of people. You know, with dairy farms having got so big and so terribly expensive, this is a way that people could actually find their way into dairying, you know, without the enormous capital expense that you know it has become to do it the conventional way.
Oh, I have one question just off the top of my head. Where does the milk go from? It goes from those suction cups. Does it go into an IBC, or where does it go?
So yeah, we've actually got a refrigerated vat that we normally milk into.
Yeah. And
actually at the moment, because we've got a lot of calves that we're feeding, we're actually producing milk, and I'm taking it home and feeding the milk here to calves, which means my fully certified organic milk ends up in the vat rather than feeding to calves. Okay. So it was just a value thing. Yeah. The milk at home is worth more than the milk here, so we feed this to calves. But ordinarily it goes into a refrigerated vat, and that's what will start to happen very shortly when the milk goes into bottles. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very, 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 very much, Matthew. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and check out the Gunninghams at shakespearehills.com.au. See you.
Thank you.